Welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of Stellar Forge Signal. It is Tuesday, August 19, 2025, and we've got a packed market recap for you today, from Bitcoin's bounce to gold insights from Andy Schectman, and all eyes on Jerome Powell's speech at Jackson Hole. This is 1 week you don't want to miss. U.S. equities hover near record highs. U.S. markets are sitting near all-time highs, but investors aren't celebrating just yet. The Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ are steady as everyone waits to hear from Fed Chair Jerome Powell at Jackson Hole later this week. Add in big earnings from Home Depot, Walmart, Intel, and it's a critical inflection point. So what's the retail takeaway? If you're trading individual stocks, be cautious. Volatility can spike. It's a good time to tighten your stop losses. Institutional angle, asset managers are tactically positioning using options and short-term hedges, preparing for whatever Powell delivers. Bitcoin this week tests support. Bitcoin is holding just below 115,000, off about 4% from July highs. Ethereum followed suit. It's a healthy correction, mostly driven by macro pressures and some big profit taking. Around 270 million in liquidations rock the crypto markets, especially for leveraged retail traders. Retail note, if you're using leverage right now, tighten up. This is where most get wrecked. Institutional insight, long-term holders are steady. MicroStrategy just bought another 430 Bitcoin, bringing their holdings up to 629,000. That's over 7.2 billion worth. Market cap and ETF flows. Total crypto market cap just under 4 trillion. Spot Bitcoin ETFs did see outflows about 122 million, but that's not scaring off big players. What's the institutional move? They're using the softness as a re-entry point, which could be a good suggestion for retail investors as well. Retail view, don't panic on ETF redemptions. They're often just part of portfolio rebalancing, not sentiment shifts. So dollar rises, gold gains momentum. The U.S. dollar is firming again, partly thanks to global headlines like the Ukrainian summit. Meanwhile, gold is quietly building support. Let's see if we can give it a little update from Andy Schectman if you guys watch him on YouTube. Andy's pointing out massive physical gold accumulation by institutions while retail investors are still chasing equities. He says central banks are loading up and we're seeing record delivery requests on the COMEX. If you're retail, it might be a good time to look at physical assets. Gold's not exciting until it is. If there is indeed a revaluation that's been spoken about, this will be a good opportunity over time, but you also know that everything that is good happens over time. Institutions, gold is playing a bigger role in strategic risk management, especially as confidence in fiat weakens. I think what we saw at the summit with Putin and also with Trump highlights a little bit of the fact that Putin came back to the table with better cards than he had before, especially given the BRICS nations alliance and the ability for about 40% of that output, of global output, has some association with folks that are part of BRICS now, which are quietly backing their actual transactions with gold. So that's something to be looking at fairly soon. If there is a revaluation, there will be some risk within the paper markets. However, physical gold area could see a high level of valuation over the next 1 to 2 years. What to watch this week? Here's your market checklist for the week. Powell's Jackson Hole speech, inflation data, earnings from Alphabet, Uber, Disney, and Palantir. Bitcoin holding above 114K. That's your near-time support line. If you've got value from this, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're managing capital or building infrastructure in the crypto or AI spaces, reach out. We've got the compute, the tools, and the network to accelerate your edge. This is Mike Cantu with your Stellar Forge Signal recap. Stay sharp, stay sovereign. See you in the next one.